The other thing is we've got to go younger and younger and younger. Let me show you how it's affecting church. The Assemblies of God reported that in 18 months of graduation, they lose 77% of all their young people. If you know anything about missions, you'd remove 50% of missions in the world without the Assemblies of God. There wouldn't be much left in Brazil. And they're losing 77% right now, all based on truth. Same thing in China now. I'm flying over to Korea to give a 45-minute talk to the largest gathering of pastors in Korea. Because they're starting to see that things are changing in missions. They're not getting the same response. Which, I mean, of course that happens, but you learn to change. Just here in the United States, in 1980, in the Southern Baptists, 100,000 young people were baptized, meaning professed Christ. In 2005, it was down to 60,000. I was in a church, you all know the pastor, everything else. I'd spoken for child evangelism fundraiser like this. In fact, I gave a similar talk as tonight. I sat down, the pastor literally ran over, and you don't know him. Sat next to me, says, I wish to God I'd heard this talk 20 years ago. This was a Saturday, he said. This afternoon I called an emergency session of all of my staff. I said, why? He said, our baptisms, evangelism of young people has fallen. This is a huge church to almost zero. I said, is it true? Because it's one of the three most evangelistic denominations in the world. I said, is it true in other churches? He said, denominational wide. But he says, I see what you're saying. It comes down to truth. Let me tell you, there's a lot of pastors out there like Mission ConneXion with their education can bring them together. You name, who else out there is doing it? No, let me just throw it out. No one. And there's probably, maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, there wasn't a need for it. Now there is, big time. And we've got to go younger. It used to be, come on, some of you remember, that whenever somebody had a fundraiser, challenged people with young people was, well, look, if we don't reach them by 18, you won't reach them. Remember that? 18 years old. You know what it is now? 12th birthday. Say, what? Oh, yeah. If you don't reach them by the 12th birthday, kiss them goodbye. Your own children. Your grandkids. Why? 15, 18 years ago, if you didn't reach them by their 12th birthday, 36% would still come to Christ after the 12th birthday. Do you know what it is now? 4% will come to Christ after their 12th birthday. Why? A lot of it's because of the internet. And folks, this is happening all over the world. And you say, oh no. What do you think launched Egypt? The internet. Is launching Yemen right now. Bahrain, all of it. Folks, the age of technology has now expressed itself. And if we in missions do not express ourselves that way, we will be obsolete. I guess that's what was the most encouraging thing to me tonight when I saw your vision, Bill. Because a lot in Christianity don't have that. Especially older people. Well, I've never used it. I hate the cell phone. Anybody hates a cell phone, why don't you drop out of missions? Because it's showing a mentality that's a barrier to the exciting opportunities in the future. My gosh, we've got some websites right now. We get 35, 40 million hits a month. That's called missions. Whew, I mean, whoever dreamed you could get 4,000 a month? We have one in Latin America, 35 million a month. That's incredible. And boy, Yemen, Jordan, Libya, all started with Facebook, Twitter, the cell phone. I Twittered 3 times today. And I can't believe how many older people, oh, I don't Twitter. Oh, Facebook, I think is ridiculous. Then get out of missions. You have no place for it. You're obsolete. We are living a time of technology exploding, and with missions, we better turn to it. Now, let me wrap it up this way. But here's the thing. By the age of 13 now, research shows, whatever a child believes by the age of 13, they will die with it and not change. They say, oh, that's not true. Look at all the people that switch churches to learn more truth. No. Almost every single person switches truth, does not switch church, does not switch to find new truth, more biblical truth, anything. Almost every single one of them switches churches to find a church that will reinforce what they believed at 13 years of age. And boy, does research show that. You see, why the skepticism is permeating the world is what most of you here faced in a challenge to your faith in the last year of the university. Kids are facing it 9, 10, 11, 12 years old right now in majority parts of the world. You couldn't handle it at 23, 24. They can't handle it at 10, 11, 12. Iran, Bahrain, Yemen, Libya, Jordan. I'm going to be in some of those countries in a few days. I hope to come back from them too. It's young people. And what are they using? Technology. Technology. I truly believe, Bill, and I think God is going to give you the wisdom. Not so much you. He's going to give you the wisdom to draw it from other people. That's leadership. Many of these unreached people, we're going to have to use technology, Bill. Well, we'll never reach them. We'll be playing around. What is coming down the road? Oh, it would have been wonderful to sat in with, what's his name, Obama today. And the technological people he met with, could you imagine where it says he was informed about the future? Whoa, I just want to know about iPad too. What we need, we've got to take churches and connect them with one, knowledge, education, and connect them with organizations, with resources that some of the larger churches can do on their own, but men and women. The smaller churches, which is 85% of all the churches, can't do it. They can't do it. We can't do missions based on the gigantic churches. We got to do missions based on those churches of 500, 600 and under. Those are where the missionaries are coming from and everything. We've got to bring, and how do you connect them together? Well, Mission Connection. Can you imagine that starting right here in Portland? They've already taken 1,000 churches. That's just in the Northwest. And they've connected them together with resources, with people, and with mission agencies. That's what we need all over the country. And when I saw that by 2020, Mission Connection would probably be in 5 cities, Bill, you can think bigger than that. You've got to. Folks, do you realize a dream has been born right here in Portland? It could possibly be one that helps the body of Christ to tie it all together. And I just want to say thank you for letting me play a small role in it. And I'll say this, Bill, I don't need another meeting. But if you go into those other cities, and if you want me and I can make it, I'll be there to help you open up those cities. Folks, we need it. We've got a resource of manpower out there we haven't even tapped. I don't know about you, but I'm so excited I'm willing to attack hell with a squirt gun. So please take to heart what I have shared tonight and the opportunity we have born out of the City of Roses. Mission Connection. Thank you so much. God bless.
Thank you so much, Josh. Thank you. Now we have the very important task of actually taking everything that we've heard and putting it into very practical, tangible practice. And that is by someone at each table. Would you grab this envelope? There's one at every table. Inside are smaller envelopes, one for each person, each couple. And this is really, I know you all know that this is one of the main reasons we came here, is to be inspired, to hear about an organization and Bill's vision, a fresh vision, a relaunching, in a sense, of Mission Connection, to think bigger. But it's not going to happen to the level that we all dream unless more people help shoulder the load. This is our opportunity to do something beyond the wonderful volunteering that many of us here in this room are doing, and I do want to acknowledge that. I realize that the reason many of you are here, many of us are here, is because you're already involved. This isn't a brand new thing you've never heard about before. This is something you've perhaps devoted a lot of time and energy to, and we very, very much appreciate that. Don't stop volunteering. Absolutely. Bill, who is literally a one-man band, I see him in our offices sitting there by himself. We're all there to support him, but when it comes to waking up and thinking about the details of Mission Connection, it is Bill. And in fact, we won't even have that unless all of us and others support it. We won't even have that. So imagine the resources that could be generated even tonight to take this to the next level. So if everyone has got that envelope, I'm just going to take a minute to walk through this. And then I'm going to give, as Dave's going to come up and lead one song or just play some music, we're going to take a minute and just quietly fill this out prayerfully. You might want to talk to your spouse and prayerfully decide what it is that you could do to help launch Mission Connection here and around the U.S. So you can see there, yes, I want to help bring the gospel to the nations through Mission Connection. Please accept my gift as follows. So you can see a wide range of gifts. We would love to have people, if you're in a position to actually write a check tonight, that would be a huge blessing for Bill and all of us that are involved in Mission Connection. It may be a gift even as high as $5,000 or more. There are some of us here that could potentially take a major step at a gift at that level. So do consider doing something directly tonight. It would also be very, very valuable to Bill to have a sense of what could we give collectively throughout the course of 2011 or 2012. So you can see there is a place for you to make a pledge if you're not in a position to write a check tonight, but you have a prayerful sense of what you could give. That is so important for Bill and others to actually make plans, to not be totally kind of wandering in the dark, hoping and dreaming, but to saying, out of the group of us that were together, we had a sense of what we could do. So consider what you would put down as an actual pledge for this year. And then also monthly support. There may be some of us here that would be committed to the point of saying, I could do something on a monthly basis. So you can see there's a place for you to indicate what you could do per month. And on the back, if you're in a position to consider something monthly, there's a place you could do that just simply as a pledge, or you could give your credit card information and that could be arranged. So as we take just a minute to pray, and I do hope that every single one of us will consider doing something to help launch this. I'm going to ask Dave to just, I don't know if you're going to sing or just do some music. We'll see. It'll be a mystery here. Let's just take a moment. If you need some time with your spouse, this would be a great time to just quietly chat about it, and let's see what the Lord will do in the next couple of minutes.